Good morning, powerful people. $1.38 billion of sell pressure may hit the markets in the next 2 weeks. If you're on Ledger, it's time to get off now. It's Saylor's birthday today. Happy birthday. El Salvador, they're set to re-elect Bukele. We'll dive into that a little bit. And universities now allowing the study of Bitcoin. Well, at least one is, so we will jump straight into this sell pressure that could come onto the market over the next couple of weeks. BlackRock crypto lender Genesis, it's not as bad as we think, maybe not as good as we think either. $1.38 billion is a lot of sell pressure. We have seen $1 billion in the last couple of weeks. Going to the market's been sucked up. Anyway, bankrupt crypto lender Genesis seeks approval to sell $1.6 billion of trust assets. Debtors of the bankrupt crypto lending firm stress the need for fast approval to sell the shares before any potential price fluctuations. So what's going on? Bankrupt crypto lender firm Genesis Global Capital has requested a United States bankruptcy court for permission to liquidate shares in the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust GBTC, as well as the Grayscale Ethereum Trust and the Grayscale Ethereum Classic Trust, totaling approximately $1.6 billion. In a recent court filing, Genesis emphasized the urgency of obtaining approval to sell the trust assets ahead of any potential fluctuations in the price of the underlying assets. Genesis stated that the aim is to maximize the funds available for distribution to creditors. The debtors believe it would be beneficial to have the authority to sell and liquidate the trust assets to reduce any risk that fluctuations in price might have on the debtors' estate and to facilitate distribution to creditors. GBT shares, they make up approximately 87% GBTC of Genesis' total portfolio across the three trusts with a value of $1.38 billion. So you can see it here. Quantity of units, 35,939,233 shares. Approximately, this was at the end of last month, $1.383 billion. It's a lot of money set to hit the market. Genesis highlighted, we've got a little bit more to cover in this. Genesis highlighted that following approval from the US SEC on Jan 10, the recent conversion of GBTC to a spot Bitcoin ETF now allows the redemption of shares in cash through its redemption program. Jan 22nd, bankrupt cryptocurrency exchange FTX, they sold 22 million GBTC shares valued at nearly $1 billion, completely liquidating all of its holdings. Price, what did it do? Went up, down, sideways, and it's all good. So we've got a little bit more context here. Shout out to everyone in the chat there. If you can do us a major favor, tap the like button if you are getting value. Hit subscribe if we vibe, and we will jump into questions and a bit of a banter at the end. Now, shout out to Alex Alessandro. This is an extremely important piece of information related to the Gemini lawsuit on Genesis over the 60 million shares of GBTC, 1.4 billion. In case the shares will be sold from GBTC, Gemini will use that amount sold to buy Bitcoin. Fantastic news. If it may move downwards therefore it may move downwards the price for a limited time, depending also on the timing, specifically between the selling of GBTC and the buying time of Bitcoin by Gemini, which is fairly smart. Put a lot of sell pressure, bring the price all the way down. Obviously, they want to get as much as they can for their GBTC shares as well. So it's a funny game they'll be playing. But if the price does tank after they've finished selling, because buy the rumor, sell the news comes out, goes down, they get more Bitcoin, and then they can pay more Bitcoin back to holders. Depend also on the time, and specifically between the selling time GBTC and the buying time of Bitcoin by Gemini, but overall for the market will have zero impact once Gemini will have finished to buy all Bitcoin for the equivalent of the GBTC portion sold. I wonder if they're buying the Bitcoin the moment they receive that cash back. Another confirmation that the biggest chunk of GBTC sell-off is over. What is it? T+1 though, so they may not get everything. And here you can see, well, I'll go into the full thread here. Fred Krueger put it out straight away. One piece of bad news I heard from this event. Evidently, GBTC may have 4 selling left. I'm not sure who this is, but some people who knew more than me indicated that we may not be done. I don't think this changes at all the main thesis for demand from Wall Street. He's changed his tune, obviously. Fred's a very smart man. He's stayed up to date on it. So we'll dive into that shortly. If you are on Ledger, I've got a message from you from Palm, and here is the GBTC at Genesis bank estate, 36 million. There's a motion authorizing sale of GBTC as of yesterday. Also, Gemini holds 31 million shares, also authorizing. Genesis and Gemini will be buying Bitcoin and ETH with some of the proceeds. You can see it here. An anticipation of received proceeds from the sale and redemption of any trust asset to purchase Bitcoin and Ethereum, as determined by the debtors in their discretion in consultation with the advisors to the committee and the ad hoc group. So not too bad, hey? They're going to sell, price may come down, they're going to buy, the price will come back up. Probably going to be a pretty neutral, so let's go, hey? Let's carry on. Now, Fred's calling for an all-time high within the next 30 to 60 days, or at least this is the case here. So a little bit of sell pressure coming on. Here's the bullish counter narrative. Let's step back and ask ourselves how the next 30 to 60 days could play out. A lot of people are fearing a dip, but I want to lay out the bull scenario. GBTC selling pressure on Bitcoin prices largely over the 1 billion, and Gemini selling will be returned as coins, so that's market neutral. See how quick this gentleman learns. On the other hand, the new nine is accumulating pretty relentlessly. They're at a total of 175,000 coins. Isn't that absolutely amazing? 18 trading sessions and $7.5 billion. Wall Street and you're afraid TikTok next block, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to see huge price increases over the next year, 2 years. So get ready, strap on. So Fred's talking about 30 to 60 days. They're 20 to 40 trading sessions. I would bet the results between 4 and 6 billion new USD inflows at a market cap of 850 billion. It's pretty easy to see. This could move the market 50% higher to 64K, basically all-time high. The scenario of getting there before the halving could really accelerate the mainstream Wall Street narrative, completely destroying the turtle model. We've got one more tweet later from Craig as well we'll dive into. I want to talk about Ledger very quickly. Usually the price does increase going up to the halving. History is not always indicative of the future. We need to keep that one in mind and hold on to that thought. Maybe it comes up, maybe it drops, and then we shoot off. Either way, you need to be stacking and chilling, not financial advice, but follow your game plan here. So, Parman, get off Ledger ASAP. If you are on Ledger or Trezor, it's time to get off. Bitcoin secured with those devices are not safe. Parman got your back. Ledger Live is terrible and one may do bad things. Ledger Company is not a friend of Bitcoin or humanity. Parmanode includes this software not because it is recommended, but to help people get their coins away from any Ledger device or seeds made with Ledger devices. You can jump on there, definitely get off Ledger. If you do need help with self-custody, securing your stack, setting up a Bitcoin node, if you've still got your Bitcoin on an exchange or you just need to take your Bitcoin security to the next level, reach out to the Bitcoin Way. We have partnered and they are sponsoring this show. Even Safety, a Moose, author of the Bitcoin Standard, they endorse the Bitcoin IT team, the Bitcoin Way. The team, they've helped me and Respect actually get off Ledger as well. We've been talking and we've been working for quite a while together to secure my own stack, as well as a couple of other things that I didn't even know were possible to really clamp it down. So it's that's pretty exciting there as well. If you need to take it to the next level, if you want to help setting up cold storage, run your own node, keeping your Bitcoin private, planning for the future, using multi-sig, so much more. They don't touch your coins, and that's a pretty good thing, actually. Yesterday, my wife's like, with these guys, do they have any access to our Bitcoin? I'm like, no, they don't see it. They just guide you through the process step by step by step, and they can really take that security to the next level. So I've put a link below. Visit the Bitcoin Way today. Reach out. It's a free 30-minute call. Anyway, thanks very much, Bitcoin Way. Great team, great service. Dennis Porter, he was going to come on Thursday, just before I go to New Zealand on Friday, and he has been called away to do the Lord's work, the good work, Satoshi's work. I'm flying cross-country today to testify on Bitcoin in 2 days. What's your favorite, most effective Bitcoin one-liner? I'm looking for a good line or two to add to my testimony. You can see Feb 3rd to testify on behalf of Bitcoin the next 5 days, notice to prepare. Shout out to Freedom STU. Read the books or eat the bugs. That's the message, ladies and gentlemen. So really quickly, read the books or eat the bugs. Shout out to Bitcoin Evangelism, is also the second show sponsor. Teamed up with the Bitcoin Way and Bitcoin Evangelism because it's all about knowledge. It's just about accumulating as much Bitcoin as possible, holding on to it for your future's future. And it's a revolution, ladies and gentlemen. Don't fade Bitcoin. Now, El Salvador, the elections are happening. El Salvador stands firm on Bitcoin defying IMF's renewed call to drop Bitcoin as legal tender. Just quick shout out, huge high five to everyone in the chat watching the replay. If you want to leave a comment below, and we will jump into the live chat at the end. I've got a story to tell you in that live chat. Oh my God, what a weekend, hey? If you thought you were having a bad weekend, you need to hear about my bad weekend. Anyway, that's why we stack and chill. Everything's all gravy, baby. El Salvador has reaffirmed its commitment to embracing Bitcoin despite the IMF fund's repeated calls for the country to drop the cryptocurrency as legal tender. The IMF, hey, get out of the way, just allow countries to be sovereign, stay out of place, huge manipulation. The Salvadorian vice president emphasized that not only will El Salvador's Bitcoin law be maintained, but at this moment, the cryptocurrency also enjoys the greatest credibility in the entire world. So El Salvador Vice President Felix said in an interview with Reuters on Wednesday that Bitcoin will remain legal tender. Hell yeah, absolutely fantastic. This is amazing news. In El Salvador, during the second term of President Nayib Bukele, even after the IMF again urged the country to drop the cryptocurrency as legal tender. IMF in it again during negotiations for $1 billion loan. How crazy is that, hey? Absolutely crazy. The IMF is the International Monetary Fund. El Salvador wants $1 billion loan, and the IMF's trying to put pressure on El Salvador to drop Bitcoin. They're not going to do it. Just really quickly, while we've got it behind it, $42,700 on the dot, nice and neat. And we've got the first 69. Tesla's numbers of the universe, 42,699 sats per USD, 2,343. Block height here is 828,934, 5:51 a.m. Let's go. Now, and what's the hash rate? 8 minutes 44. That is powering today. We have hit a new all-time high with the hash rate. We should jump into a chart shortly. Regardless, general elections will be held in El Salvador 1st of February to elect president, vice president, all 60 deputies of the legislative assembly here. He explained that if President Bukele and his New Ideas party secure a landslide victory, looks pretty much certain, unless something unfortunate happens, the Salvadorian government will proceed with its plans to launch Bitcoin-backed bonds in the first quarter of 2024. Even JP Morgan has put out a report where they were so against the credit and El Salvador and stuff, and they've about-faced JP Morgan. We'll dive into that later in the week. Let's just hear from the legendary Tim Draper. This is the video that I was meant to bring up last week and I didn't, so we'll bring it up and play it today.
I miscalculated on how aggressive how scared the U.S. government was running. And now they realize that Bitcoin's actually better for everyone. It keeps perfect records. It, the people who they all thought were criminals using Bitcoin, turns out they were all caught. So using dollars is probably better for a criminal. And I think that there's going to be a moment where there's a run on the banks the way after the Civil War there was a run on Confederate money, and there was a run on the Greek drachma and a run on the French franc when they became a part of the euro. So I actually think that there will be a moment in time when I can buy my food, clothing, and shelter all in Bitcoin, and people won't want dollars anymore. So I miss.
People won't want dollars anymore. Let's go. Let us know in either the live chat or the comment section. Is it CBDCs for you? Or is it Bitcoin the world's hardest form of money? Let us know below in the live chat. We will jump into that at the end of this live stream here, and I'll reply to every single comment. I've got a couple to catch up on, but happy birthday, Michael Saylor. You definitely do not want me to sing happy birthday, but CBDCs or Bitcoin, and if you can wish Michael Saylor a happy Bitcoin birthday, smash the like if you are celebrating for this guy. What a giga, Chad. Hey, what an absolute amazing man. He's going to go down in history as one of the greatest investors of all time. What a Chad. Hey, what an absolutely amazing man. Incredible man. If you haven't read his book, is it the mobile wave? I believe it's something in regards to mobiles. He called it way before anyone, and then he's called Bitcoin way before anyone as well. He can see disruptive technology. What a guy. Now, all-time high again, and price, it's got a lagging indicator, but usually it follows hash rate. So, wow, 550 exahashes a second. That's absolutely amazing. It just goes up and up and up. And that's why, actually, we're seeing on the block clock here. Let me zoom in for you. My apologies. Let's get the tech working. And we're stuck in the matrix. Here we go. 8 minutes and 45 seconds. So we're going to get a huge difficulty adjustment. Bitcoin just works so well. And when we really dive in and we think about it, like, how does that happen? I like Darius, don't eat the bugs, eat steaks. I absolutely agree. We will jump in there as well. Now, universities offering Bitcoin study programs. It's absolutely amazing. Shout out, is it Ella Ho? Hoff? My apologies either way. This is huge. Cornell College. On Jan 11, Cornell University College of Arts and Science Robert S. Harrison College Scholar Program approved the first independent Bitcoin-focused study. In addition, Cornell University officially approved its first Bitcoin club. In an interview with Bitcoin magazine, Ella recounts that the past 15 months have been a long but incredibly worthwhile road to approval. Adding that, I continue to believe that spending my time and energy studying Bitcoin is the most worthwhile academic endeavor. It's the most worthwhile thing that you can do right now in this time in history, academic or not. Please read the books or eat the bugs. Obviously, Bitcoin evangelism, I recommend it to everyone. I'm particularly grateful to study it inside the College of Arts and Science at Cornell, whose founders championed ideals Bitcoin embodies, warning of the dangers of fiat money inflation, supporting the development of rails to transfer knowledge-based and monetary wealth. Shout out to you, Ella. Absolutely amazing to see. Let's race through. Charlie Shrem, Satoshi means clear thinking, quick-witted, wise. Nama means insider relationship. Modo means the origin, the cause, the foundation, the basis, which translates to clear thinking inside the foundation. It's what Bitcoin is built on, baby. Last year, I had people tell me they weren't buying Bitcoin at 16K because they'd wait for 10K. And people are always saying, oh, there's a dip coming, there's a dip coming. Maybe up, down, and sideways, ladies and gentlemen, but just stack and chill. Obviously not financial advice. Study it. Don't fade it. Today, the same people are saying that they won't buy Bitcoin at 40K because they're waiting for 30K. Crazy how people don't learn from their mistakes. I'm sure that's no one out there as well. If it's just DCA, whatever your plan is, be prepared. Soft landing and coming, yeah, not. Half of the US tenants can't afford to pay their rent. Here's what's ahead. Now, the SEC, they shot themselves in the foot with a spot Bitcoin ETF, denied it for over a decade, lost the lawsuit, entering a bull market, forced to approve during a halving year, fumbled their ex-Twitter account. What a joke that was. Accidentally approved the ETF early, 10K Bitcoin entering these ETFs daily. And so it begins. Commercial, this is all going to link up real quick. A commercial real estate crash is unfolding. Regional banks are feeling the pain. Shares of the Japanese bank Azora are collapsing. Stocks on steepest two-day drop since it became a public company. Why? Bank reported massive exposure to US commercial real estate. Look at that chart, and we had that bank collapse last week. Checkmate, we had James on the channel from Glassnode. The Australian housing market is a textbook Ponzi scheme. I bring this up because this is why Bitcoin is so important. The end result will be the absolute decimation of AUD as the government inevitably prints it to backstop the system. Bitcoin consistently outpaces the inflation rate of Aussie housing and outperforms stonks on a nominal and risk-adjusted basis. This creates future opportunities for Bitcoin holders, allowing them to outpace fiat debasement. See the Bitcoin price, the average house price going up there as well. But then this yellow just here is the average house price in Bitcoin. It's going down 100x shares, the ASX 200, which follows housing prices pretty closely as well. I needed James to explain that last one to me like I was in year 8. You can see going down over time. So if you're not stacking and chilling, it's probably a little bit hard to stay, but it's you've got an opportunity to set yourself up for your future here. Are you going to capture the moment, or are you going to let it slip? So ad for Bitwise, they're appearing all over Twitter as well. This is absolutely massive, and this is just one of them. Obviously, we had Matt Hogan on the channel, the CIO. If you haven't checked that out, I strongly encourage you to do it. It is great. More pain happening. Layoff announcements total 80,000 in the US in January. This is the most in 10 months and 136% increase from December. UPS, PayPal, Microsoft, Google, and the list goes on. All announced big layoffs. These announcements are happening every day. Now, what can you do to protect yourself, your friends, your family? Stack and chill. Hodl, hold on for dear life. It is going to be volatile. $10,000, $20,000 days. Understand it. If you're ready for that, smash the like button. Let us know in the comments. And we're going to get into the comments very shortly. Rory is up early, co-host. General thesis, Wall Street doesn't care at all about Bitcoin. They view the new ETFs as meh. Price is really important. Once we get to 70K, the advisors will be getting the calls. Why aren't we in this? IBIT will be trading at $30. That's the only number that they will be tracking, not the actual Bitcoin itself. 200 million we are seeing a day now will go up 2x, 3x, and more. The entire thing is not, how is it doing now? It's how will it do once we hit the all-time high? We've talked about this on the channel. People wait to see that it's pumping and then they jump in. That's when FOMO sets in. So well done on front-running Wall Street. Well done on front-running real estate. It's pretty amazing. The financial advisors, everyone, you truly deserve a high five. Absolutely amazing. I'm convinced that is where the turtle becomes the spacecraft. And now, we've covered this in depth many times. We'll just touch on a little bit how bankers and politicians are aligned on digital asset regulation. Basically, Elizabeth Warren teaming up with JP Morgan. They are scared, they are afraid, so make the most of it, stack and chill. We can see Bitcoin's market cap, $839 billion. One day we're just going to wake up, ladies and gentlemen, be over $1 trillion. Are you ready for it? Let us know. Crypto here, he's got crypto in his name, so we'll take... We'll see. We'll be the bottom. Watch it. Looking forward to it. If we get 31K, let's go. Let's go. How awesome will that be? 42,767. Ladies and gentlemen, give me about 10 seconds. And what I want to do is something that I haven't done before on this show. We're going to probably get a little bit of inception there. It'll only last about 10 seconds. And bear with me, and we'll see what's possible. You'll see the point in a sec. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the live chat. That's the news with the fast facts for the day. We'll set this up. So I was assessing this angle up. I'm going to jump into all your questions very shortly. I was setting this up on the weekend here, and I walked in and I heard this drip in this corner. I looked up and there's this little bubble in the roof. So I put my finger, I pushed it, and my finger just went straight through the roof. I'm like, oh God. So cut a 20 centimeter hole, and there's a pipe dripping down into the roof. Fixed that up, siliconed it up. Then I looked to that side of the studio there, And that was even worse. It's like bulging down. So I like pushed it up, and gyprock, it's like this white sheeting stuff they make walls and roofs out of, just collapsed over me like I looked like a ghost and stuff. I had to cut it out. The whole studio was absolutely a mess. Have managed to get all the dust out. Went to Bunnings to get a new sheet, strapped it down on the car. The wind took it, ripped it off the roof, threw it all over the road, had to clean that off the road, throw it in the back of the ute, go back to Bunnings, get another sheet of gyprock, put it up. I had a friend help me. It wouldn't fit, and straight away, like trying to hold it up and stuff. It was really enjoyable. Anyway, got it done. It's back in order. The roof looks a little bit unsightly. After so long getting the studio set up, the roof was about the only thing I didn't replace. And I guess there's probably a lesson in there. So jumping into the comments there, let me just find out where my cursor is, and we'll scroll up. G'day, Baseline Benny, Average Geo, Jonathan, Cheap Sats for everyone, make the most of it, Stack and Chill, Christine, sitting in Denver Airport, passing time, TikTok, next block. Chris Lee Blank, where are you heading? But also, are there any GPTC ads happening at the moment? OPD, g'day, mate. Good to see you. John Creasy, always a pleasure. G'day. More selling means more sats for the unrelenting Bitcoin. Bring it all. G'day, legend. G'day, Gargoyle. Simon Picala, g'day, brother. Just remember, all models and price predictions are wrong. Just stack, chill, and self-custody. Hold. Let's unfluff our future. Shout out from WA. Shout out Timothy. Darius, oi, Bitcoin Horde. Good evening. Way to end my Sunday. A great way. I love it. G'day, ladies and gentlemen. Knowledge is power. Do something, do anything. How's the audio in this position? We'll sort it out and get the framing a little bit better. Eating the bugs, eat a steak. I heard somewhere that we could see a supply shock in as little as 6 months of the current ETF Bitcoin purchase. I think it was British Hodl. Ladies and gentlemen, there's going to be an absolutely major supply shock sooner rather than later, slowly then suddenly. These $10,000, $20,000 days, remember, we'll get them to the downside as well as to the upside. When that FOMO kicks in, it gets absolutely insane, absolutely hectic. So enjoy it and get ready for it. It is going to be the ride of some of your life. And at the end of the day, we can see the financial systems falling apart, the fiat property Ponzi schemes are falling apart. Everything is getting more expensive. It's getting cheaper if you're pricing in Bitcoin. So I urge you to act accordingly there. Rory Saylor, shout out. He is letting us know what block height, 828,934. Let us know when you see the replay what block height it is, timechaincalendar.com. Average Geo, don't know if I agree with the shock coming soon. 6 months, 12, 18 months after the halving, 6 to 12 months after the halving, we really see that. Usually it lasts about 18 months when we see that peak there. And they're taking like 10,000 Bitcoin away each day, locking them up. These people aren't looking for a quick flip. Some of them will. Price should climb higher as exchange balance to down. Eventually there will be a shock, but I think it's not for a while. Won't be straight away. Show Sean, so I've hit Rory. I have no idea. Show Sean some love. Hit that like button. That was very interesting gobbledygook, but appreciate that, brother. Rory, we'll get you on maybe this week, otherwise next week. Bitcoin, a huge thing that I have 100% trust in, but what scares me is the almost religious ideals some people have. It is a revolution that should be studied. No one should follow anything blindly. Jeff, 100%. Read the books or eat the bugs. So important to be able to study this. Now, I guess the longer you're in Bitcoin, the more radical people get. I know that's definitely happened for me. Not a religion, just something that I believe in. JD, shout out, 31K will be the bottom. We'll see. Tony Love, 3 years I told a mate, buy Bitcoin. He bought Hex. Oh, man, I have a friend that went through that as well. I asked him yesterday if he's bought Bitcoin yet. He said not yet, but he's hoping his Hex will... Oh, man, I'm so sorry, but he's hoping his Hex will come back. Can't save all of them. That's a good reason why it's Bitcoin, not altcoins, ladies and gentlemen. It's super sad. No, you sure can't, Tony. Nice, Sean. Shout out Android. Damn, Sean, the sky was falling. Yeah, the sky was falling. It was full on. G'day, making the most of stacking opportunity. Hope the studio problems are sorted. They're pretty good. I have something up there that I need to sort out as well, but we'll make that happen. At least it's all sealed away from any pests or anything. I can't have that in the studio with the equipment. British Hoddle in the chat. Good to see you, brother. We'll get British Hoddle back on if he's up for it. Very insightful man. If you haven't been watching British Hoddle, definitely subscribe to all the Bitcoin YouTube channels. Shout out to everyone in the chat, 129 people. British, remain calm and stack on. Good audio, mate. Appreciate it. Is his eyebrows real? Whose eyebrows real? My eyebrows real? That's like the weirdest thing. Let us know who you're talking about. Cam's fine. Yeah, the camera's off my iPhone here. The main camera's there. I can't move that. So we'll work on that, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe I need to bring it a little bit closer. Price hikes will slow the supply shock. G'day, just back from the secret forest with the Kelpie crosses 2 and puppies. Super beautiful. British Hoddle will have to change legal name soon. G'day, there is no second best. Ada and Sofa King, we are told it. Not really sure. Bought a brand new ledger right before we found out they couldn't be trusted. What cold storage do you suggest, Sean? Go into BTC sessions on YouTube. I do suggest something, but I'm not going to say what it is publicly. I think you need to do your own research or reach out to the Bitcoin way again. But it needs to be open source. It needs to be Bitcoin only, not Ledger, not Trezor. Stick with that and then jump over to BTC sessions or the Bitcoin way. British Hoddle, audio not bad, slightly more sound reverberating off the walls. I'll get something up there, some more sound panels as well. Appreciate that, everyone. It's been a pleasure. Have a beautiful day. Do something nice for someone. Hit subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow. Be blessed. Peace.